indeed my honor and a pleasure to be invited again at the interns workshop to present to you with regards today. This morning I'm doing two presentations, but the first one will be on the trainee program. So thank you, and I'd like to welcome each and all of you, and thank my chair for giving me an opportunity to address one and all of you. Firstly, I want to start off by congratulating Lindelani on his qualifications and his progress. His story tells a number of words, and it's a real story because I can relate to what he has to say, that without hard work and commitment early in your years, you won't see the rewards later on. And I can relate to exactly where Lindelani is coming from, because for myself, I started off in 1982 as a graduate at Unilever. And it was hard work in the Bharthie days. It was no easy task. And it took a lot of hard work in terms of just getting in to get the job and then work your way up from a graduate. And of course, then I moved on to a financial manager, financial director, and now as a corporate executive at the eThekwini municipality. So in terms of experience, I'm here with 36 years of experience in both local and private sector. So yes, when somebody did introduce them, my chairperson did say we have some old people. Yes, I'm proud to say that I am one of those pensioners about to be retiring in 3 years' time. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to introduce you to the training program as it is in the eThekwini municipality. We have a very constructive training program, and it's not necessarily only for CAs. We have a multifaceted training program, and to say that the CFO of the eThekwini municipality came through this training program. So hard work, and hard work. And the chair of this branch, KZN branch, Sikparo, Emmanuel Ngobo, came through the training program too, at the eThekwini municipality. Okay, so let's go on. What is the purpose for the eThekwini municipality in terms of our training program? Firstly, and a lot of it has been already said, like my first speaker, it is to develop competent accountants in financial management and management accounting. Now, remember that not all of us need to be CAs, because as Lindelani had indicated, there's many routes to being accountants. And in the public sector, there's various opportunities for accountants. And we'll talk through some of those opportunities a little later. We also like to build in-house capacity. And a municipality like ours, eThekwini municipality, we have some 90 accountants. In the expenditure unit alone, we have close to 230 or 250 employees. And those 250 employees are responsible for putting budgets, financial statements, Section 71 reports, everything and anything in the council, deal with audit queries for the whole council. So that's meant they facilitate, they work with other departments, and they put all of that together at the end of each financial year and on a monthly basis. And therefore, in our program, we'll talk about how we build that in-house capacity. Then we like to address talent management and succession planning. So when I leave, there should be somebody who is already groomed to be able to step into that particular position, not discounting that we also have to advertise jobs in terms of fairness. Our role also for training is to support council in ensuring corporate governance and hence strive for clean audit. And all of us here sitting as finance officials, we know that clean audits have digressed. It's come down in not only in the province, but the whole country. The AG will perhaps, I don't know if we got the AG coming, but the AG will tell you how we have digressed. And so when we are passionate about our work and we're sitting here striving to become CAs or accountants, we must ensure that we are so committed that we can help the municipalities and councils achieving clean audits. Provide well-trained and groomed accountants to the public sector. So we don't want to, when we do the training, we're not saying that they must only stay within us. Because young graduates today, and if I think of my days, you don't want to stay in that municipality for 40 years. So, or in an organization for 40 years, you need to then take the opportunity when it comes to also move into different sectors. And so we have no problem in training people who would then go into other municipalities as trained accountants. And we're also here to support the National Treasury Initiative, which my colleague had talked about, because there is a National Treasury Initiative and there is a Provincial Treasury Initiative and Local Government Initiative. So let's just move on. How many programs do we have and what are the kinds of programs that we run at the eThekwini Municipality? We have a trainee accountant program, we have a graduate accountant program, and then we have the SICA trainee program. The SICA training program is two. We are accredited as a municipality to run the SICA training program. And then we have National Treasury who send their trained or their CAs through to the municipality, and they ask us to provide opportunities in terms of training at the municipality after they become CAs already. So the National Treasury has their program for SICA graduates, and thereafter they then send through to local government for training and providing us support. I'll explain in detail what the three training programs are, but before I get to that, in order to run a training program, it can't be done with one individual. So we have a team of people who are involved in running this. Most importantly, we have a program manager whose role and responsibility is to manage trainees, graduates, and SICA trainees. We have a department management. That means all these trainees, graduates, etc. go into various departments, and then you have departments who manage them. We have mentors, and then there is a reviewer. So there's various ways in which various people get involved in development of you from the time you join us, whether as a trainee, graduate, or as a postgraduate SICA trainee. Of course, in order for you to know how you join any of these programs, each of the training programs have got criteria. It's not an automatic entrance into the municipality or into any public sector. So let's start off with the training program. And the training program is an initiative that has been run by the eThekwini Municipality, not from the past 10 years, but from the past 40 years. This program has been working. The extent of it may have changed, but the program has been initiated for past 40 years. Now, the intention in those days was obviously to get people who could not afford it, give opportunities to employees, citizens who cannot afford to go and study, students who could not afford it. And then they get a job, they start with a normal BCom degree, and they are given the opportunity to earn and study at the same time. So that's the aim of it, is to provide financial assistance towards obtaining a financial qualification for an individual, and at the same time, they then get their work experience. This training program is 4 years. Whilst we know that a BCom degree can take 3 years, we allow it over 4 years simply because by the time we interview and take graduates, they have probably lost the first 6 months of their year, and therefore we give it 4 years. Once you've completed this training program, you move on to what we call a graduate program. And a training program, I have to emphasize here, is pretty rigorous. It's rigorous in that you have people who monitor you, they mentor you, your results are reviewed, you are expected to write 4 exams, you're given time to study, and you are given a lot of support in doing the training program. So, like Delali said, that you have to give up some play in order that you can get your degree in 4 years. You commit yourself to studies. Having obtained your degree with the municipality, you then move on to the next level, which we call the graduate program. And then what happens is that at the trainee level, you get very basic training by rotating into different departments. You do the lowest level of training. At the graduate level, you start to do what the accountants would be expected to do. So you get a further 3 years of experience. Now, if you so wish to pursue postgraduate, so from BCom, you now want to go to your BCom CA route, or you want to do BCom honors, for example, specialize in the fields that the Etequini municipality will offer. So if you want to specialize in that, and we need the specialization in that, we will then support you to do an honors in that. If you want to go the CA route, it would be supported in going the CA route. Not all honors, I have to emphasize, not all honors are supported because of the need of local government. So it's supported to the extent of the needs that we required, but CA routes have been supported. So on the graduate program, there's two ways in which we do the graduate program. One is trainees who automatically can move on to graduate, and the second one is that those undergraduates, so we also take from the external. So if you have studied on your own, and you're already a graduate, 3 years, you apply, and we then take you on as a graduate. Again, the aim over here is to give the graduate work experience. 3 years completion, there is no guarantee to a job. There is no guarantee to a job, but what happens is the opportunities open up, you apply, and you stand a good chance of getting the position. Lastly is the SICA program. So trainees and graduates, if they are pursuing the SICA training and they want to do a CA, they get a lot of support in having completed their BCom degree, and then they sign up to say that they will be doing their training in the public sector, so the top program. So we then engage and they get interviewed. It's not an automatic entrance also into the program. They get interviewed because you have to also assess the individual in terms of their ability and competency to be able to achieve the honors and to be able to do those, to undertake the training, and their passion to want to become a CA. So we then obviously sign you up and take you on to complete your CA and provide you with all the necessary tools in order to complete that qualification. Upon completion, you must again apply for vacant posts. What we have done is we've created supernumeraries for the CAs, and they also get again interviewed in order to get into that supernumerary post. Because we have had a few CAs qualified and did find job opportunities in the private sector and then moved on. So what has happened in the last 3 years, our intake and retention. So currently we do have a intake we take up to 8 trainees a year. So on an annual basis, we take on new trainees, and this gets advertised and we take on new trainees. We retain all trainees till they complete their programs, and then there has been instances where lots of them have been absorbed back into the municipality. There have not been cases of people not being absorbed into the municipality. So we have absorbed our trainees and then move on into the graduate training program. Graduates, we have up to about 15, and upon completion, they also then get absorbed through various roles in the municipality. But when I say they get absorbed, they also do apply to be absorbed into the municipality. Again, no automatic completion, no automatic jobs, except for when you become a CA and we do want to retain that skill at the CA level, then we provide you with some opportunity to go onto a progression grade based on your qualification. and then you work within various departments to be able to be rotated, and as soon as an opportunity at a higher level comes up, you could apply and be interviewed like the rest of the candidates. Psycha trainees, we have currently 8 of them. We have 15 trainees at any given time. So when I'm saying 8, these are 8 that are our own internal groomed Psycha trainees. That excludes National Treasury Psycha trainees. So those 8 remain with us. And just to say that as it stands right now, 3 of those trainees have qualified with qualified as CAs, and they are being retained, and they're in a management training program. Lastly, how do we monitor these trainees? And each one of you at various levels, so whether you're a trainee, whether you're a graduate, we have to implement some kind of work, a framework around which we monitor and review your outcomes. So from a work performance, we have a competency framework, which has been developed by National Treasury, and we use that as a benchmark. We not only train you into technical things, we also train you into soft skills. And I think all of us know soft skills are an important component of our development. And that talks about having to send you for interview skills, time management, all other soft skills, presentation skills, confidence building, and those are initiatives which run through our skills WSP, and you then get an opportunity to attend some of those trainings. The performance is reviewed on a quarterly basis, and there's a rating scale, which is also a National Treasury rating scale. On the 0 to 4 is utilized, and everyone then gets, in terms of the rating scale, they get measured on that rating scale. Academic performance, we review biannually, and this goes for trainees, graduates, and if graduates are pursuing further studies, and for the Psycha trainees. We review biannually, importantly, because if you haven't performed in the first half, we try to put in more measures and controls in place to help you and support so that you get through the second half. And if you have any challenges, we also try to support you in terms of any challenges during the exam period. There are people who actually help trainees and graduates with assignments and questions that they are being given that they are unable to address on their own in their assignments. So there is ongoing support through our training program. The Psycha trainees, again, this is a critical one because it's slightly different from normal trainees and the graduates. The Psycha trainees, it's a Psycha competency framework, and again, we review them on a 2-monthly basis, but they do an online learner training system where they have to go online and review and write their tests online, and that's done every 2 months. Again, they also get, we have a rating scale of 0 to 4, and literally when somebody would ask, I know one of you might decide to ask me what it means. 0 is that you are really not competent in that particular skill. It means that if you were given, take an example, if you were asked to do a reconciliation and you could not perform this reconciliation for whatever reason, then it means that you either don't understand accounting or you don't understand how to go about doing that particular reconciliation. So then we would then not listen, but we would then start providing you additional support so that you understand what the outcome is. And lastly, again, for Psycha trainees, the academic performance is reviewed after each exam. There are only 2 exams that they write. The board exams are in 2 parts, and if you write the first theoretical one, you are unsuccessful, you are given a second opportunity to write. However, we do have a clause on override, on failures in exams. So if employees or trainees fail the exam, there is a process, and it's in terms of the MFMA that we have to recover the funding, and then you would still be given a second opportunity. But if you still fail after the second opportunity, then you would have to reconsider your program going forward. I think that brings me to the end. And I think that covers our full training program. And I think at the end of this, in the panel, we could take questions. Thank you very much.